back with the Tri-State Sports Guys, top of Cable Ready Studios here in Norwalk. Time for the 5 and 10 segment, everybody's favorite. Let's get right into it. We got to talk a little bit about this NBA labor talk.
Today.
The deadline was today, but it kind of was extended because they were still talking. The deadline was 5 o'clock today, Wednesday. They're still talking, but the word is that basically that last offer that the owners made, that the players rejected, was the best they're going to get, and that a lot of owners were hoping that they would reject it because it was too much for even them. So they're saying they just screwed themselves. I don't know if it's posturing or what, but I think that there's a huge difference between this negotiation and the NFL negotiation.
I was just going to say that.
In that there are teams that are hurting, and like you said a couple weeks ago, or you said it from the beginning, teams that are losing money, they're saying I'm going to lose less money. So I'll wait. I'll wait until this product is ready where I can make money.
They want it to be like hockey.
Yeah, I know. Which it's not going to get that big. I mean, there's still a major sport, which hockey is not. Who's got the best record in the NHL?
No, I agree with you.
Nobody does. It's not a major sport.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, but it was like hockey in terms of now all those, we don't care about hockey, but all those clubs are running profitably or the way they want it to run.
Right.
Nobody's complaining. Everyone took a pay cut, and there's a salary cap.
Right, and I've heard a lot of people. Michael Kay today was taking the player side in the point that he's saying that the owners, they're at fault because they're the ones that are paying too much money. But the problem is when the system allows you to pay too much money, you're forced to, because the good teams are the 10 profitable teams are going to do it. So you have to do it. So you got to look at the product as the NBA, not 30 individual teams. There's the NBA, and here's the product. And so we're saying the product is not as good when you have 20 teams that are running a deficit. So it's got to get changed. And I think that as much as I was for the players in the NFL, I'm 100% behind the owners in this. I don't know what you.
I totally agree. I think that the players are doing a better job than the NFL players are, and that you don't see them all tweeting and stuff. But I think that their leadership's awful. You hear them always saying these slave things, and
even the guy today.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a lawyer.
Came
out and said their plantation, whatever. I mean,
and it's just
you only have to wait a certain amount of time so somebody puts in the slave thing.
This propaganda is just too. These owners don't care. These owners are rich, and they didn't get rich by. They're not rich because they're basketball players. They're rich because they're smart.
Right.
And they're not going anywhere. They're not budging.
Right. To me, their angle should have been that, we have other options and this and that, kind of threatening them that way, and that we have other options. We can go play overseas, even though they know all the players can't. But just the threat of that to be more than coming out and saying that we're plantation workers and that kind of thing. But I'd be curious to say. You think there's any chance? I think there's no chance of a season this year. I don't think there will be. You're a betting man. I mean, I'm not saying there's no chance. I would take, if you were to make me bet right now, I'd say there's gonna be no season, no basketball this year.
I don't miss it, and I think that's the problem is a lot of people don't miss it because football has been pretty good.
Right, and because all around the country people are into college basketball. Up in the Northeast, we're not that much into college football, so we really, really miss our NFL up here.
And I got news for you. We talked about this with the football. Nobody feels bad for super rich people that aren't making more money. This is a tough world right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, I feel bad that guy can't make $50 million. He's only
right. They might have to take a pay. Yeah, Kobe might have to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
So this is bad timing for them, to say the least.
Exactly. All right, let's shift over to baseball. Free agency is upon us. Pretty much our first major trade, and you could call it a major trade, is Jonathan Sanchez for Melky Cabrera. To me, I think it's a bad trade for the Giants. I know you're not a Jonathan Sanchez fan, but I think Melky Cabrera is going to be a nothing. He's going to be a non-factor in San Francisco.
I think this trade is going to be 0 plus 0 equals 0.
Oh, I think Jonathan Sanchez, in an environment like Kansas City, where he's going to go out and be able to strike out a bunch of guys, I don't think he's going to be a stud, but he's going to be valuable to that team and bridge. I mean, Kansas City's not going to do anything next year anyway. So
Melky Cabrera had 200 hits. They couldn't find someone better than Jonathan Sanchez for him?
No, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. He's a fat slob who is not going to hit. You think he's going to have 200 hits this year?
No.
So you're trading.
Melky Cabrera will
I think all the teams in the world say, this guy's not going to hit 200 hits for me.
When he retires, Melky Cabrera will have played on every major league team. He's that type of player.
He will be one of the worst players ever to have 200 hits in a season.
And he's one of those guys that they refused to trade for Randy Johnson way back when.
So what I'm saying is, you don't think they could have gotten more for Jonathan Sanchez than Melky Cabrera?
No.
Look, they're a team that still has to win now. And Melky Cabrera is not an answer. You got to make a splash. And
You know
Melky
what?
Cabrera is now going to have to start for you.
He's
How is
not
Melky
the-
Cabrera
I'm
help
going to tell
that?
you how. He's not the complete answer. He's not a guy who's going to anchor your outfield, but he's a good, as he showed on the Yankees, he's a good bit player on a good team. So to me, you have to get either Beltran back or somebody with that type of offensive ability. Because he can play defense, and Melky Cabrera can get hits, and he's not afraid of a big situation. So he's a good player. He's better than Andres Torres, my boy
He
Andres
sure
Torres.
thinks he's good. He's not scared of
Yeah,
him.
he acts like he's really good. That's for
Right.
sure. But I think Jonathan Sanchez in Kansas City, unless he's got a good coach, he's going to walk the ballpark.
What do you think about Reyes meeting with the Marlins? Did you see that coming at all?
No.
I didn't see that coming at all. We talked about different locations.
I mean,
for
they
him.
still have Hanley Ramirez, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. But he's meeting down there. I actually think it'd be a good fit for him down in Miami, with the hamstring injuries he has. He's playing the warm weather all the
And they
time.
tell you that they know Ozzie Guillen and Hanley Ramirez will not get along.
I think so too. I mean, what do you think if you're Hanley Ramirez? It's pretty amazing that he's one of the. But I think that now that I'm thinking about it, it'd be a good fit for him. I mean, we both agree he's not going to be a Met.
Yeah.
No shot.
Sadly.
All right, let's transition back to the NFL for the last two topics here.
Okay.
Watching the Monday night game, is there a worse system in the NFL than the Eagles' defensive system? And the Eagles got talent all over the place.
They can't tackle.
And they can't tackle, and this defensive coordinator likes to stick with this spread.
He was an offensive line coach, right?
So yeah,
That's what he was, right?
He wants to. It's almost like he's sticking with it because he wants to make a name
The
from
9 something.
Right. He wants to be the Buddy Ryan's 4-6, and he made this stamp. I mean, it's not working. You have talent there. You got pass rushers. You have great defensive backs. Their linebacking core is bad, but they should not be giving up 30 points at home to the Bears. And I'm not saying the Bears are a bad team, but they should not.
Because they just kept running the ball where they should be.
You watched Forte on that first drive. He was just right up the field. It was like, what are they doing? What are they?
I don't have an answer. What I do want to know, I want maybe one of you guys could tell me. They want to play these guys wide for whatever reason because they think they get the
With their
edge.
little thing with it.
Explain to me why that's necessary.
I don't know. Because they're
Like,
just looking at the ball.
What part of how does that help? Why can't he be on one hand anymore like the ends? Like, is there a reason? I don't understand it.
If there is a reason, how come all these other great defensive coaches that have come to the NFL over the last 100 years haven't decided that? You know what I'm saying? This genius is not going to be the guy that discovers, you know what? I know all these people, Buddy Ryan, all these geniuses have been out there, but I know that it's much better if we just put them out about 7 yards outside tackles.
But why do they have to say like this? Doesn't even
That
seem like
little
it's
thing?
natural. Like a
Yeah.
sprinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even like a sprinter because, you just, I don't know.
It's awful.
It's not
awful.
working. That's the thing. It's not working. So it's not like you could really say, well, it is a good system. Because nobody expected their defense to be this bad. So
Yeah.
what is it? It's not their
I
personnel. I don't know. So sticking with, we're just
Yeah.
getting to something quick here.
This is what I'm mad about. Go ahead.
Now this came from you and me having a conversation. So, Tony, I'm just going to ask you. You'll be the deciding vote here. Well, I think we both agreed to and I. So he's going into the Monday night game. He's up by 1.2 points in fantasy. The other guy's got nobody else left to play.
Hold on. Tony thinks we're going to make fun of him because my team, my winless, decrepit team beat his.
I told you it was going to happen.
Tony, I beat you by way more than 1 point, so this
My
doesn't have
team
anything
is-
to do
my
with it.
team is
Sorry,
terrible.
go ahead. This is another league. What am I, 7?
So
Go
he's
ahead.
got Matt Forte. He asks me, should I pull him out of the game? So
I'm up by 1.
He's up by 1
and the other guy has nobody left.
So the game's over. So I say to him, well, does your league have like reward most total points as like a tiebreaker, or do you get paid out on that type of thing? Because that's the reason I would play him. And he says, yeah, we do. We have a payout, and I'm winning it. So I'm like, well, then probably play him. He goes, well, when I bring it up to the other guys in my league, they think it's Bush League of me.
The commissioner said it was Bush League.
The commissioner said it was Bush League of him to pull him out. To me, that's mind-boggling. Do you think it would be Bush League for him to pull out a player when he's got the lead, the game's wrapped up? To me, it's just like fantasy baseball when you're playing on a Sunday and you have wins and ERA and whip locked up and you say, I'm just going to pull out my pitcher.
Yeah, but why would you?
Because
the
what
argument-
I was
what if
worried
his
about
first
was
play he
If
fumbles?
he fumbles on the first play, I now lose.
Look, you could debate whether he should have done it or not when he wound up playing him, right?
Yeah, I want to play him.
But would it be Bush League for him not to play him? That's not Bush League.
I would say yeah.
I would say yeah.
I would say yeah.
Why is it Bush
Why
League?
is it Bush League?
Because
He won the league. He won the
No,
game.
because the argument that the commissioner had, and I don't know if it was that I was hurting other teams, and I said, it's one thing if I'm winning and I just choose to bench the guy to screw some other team. I'm benching a guy so my team can win.
How are you screwing other teams?
you're-
Because other teams, I don't even know if he was talking about like point differentials or total points again. I don't even. Oh, for power rankings. Power rankings in CBS Sportsline are one of our tiebreakers. I don't know which one. So it affects the power rankings, whatever it was. And I was like, I don't agree with you because I'm trying to win my game. My loyalty should be for me to win my game.
Wait a second. You were up
1 point.
1 point. You had a running back going.
And he had nobody going. So
He
the
won
only
the
way
week. He won the week.
The only way I could lose is if I got a negative point.
So he came in. The guy came in. and He fumbled on the first play and got hurt.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, what's the
that's-
chances that's gonna happen?
But why? What's the advantage in playing?
What's the advantage of me playing him? That was what I asked.
It isn't. It's just like a slap in the face.
It's
It's
not
just the
much-
guy out. Yes, it is.
I know it aggravates you as the opponent.
Yeah, you
It's not bush
definitely
league,
gotta
dude.
keep the. What is the
But
chances
that's
that
the
guy-
point.
Like in
That's
baseball
the point.
on
It
a Sunday,
aggravates you as the opponent
I would
because you
be-
know your
you're
only
done.
chance is for that guy to fumble.
No, if I was somebody did that in my league, I would be mad about it. As a commissioner, it would upset me. You
That
would get a front
explains-
page story on
You
that
don't know
one.
what you're totally wrong.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
totally wrong.
That's
I
like-
love to hear people's opinions.
that's like
on
coming
this.
out of the game and
It
you're that
amazed-
as a
it
Met
never
player.
even
Now,
dawned
for
on
the
me that it
record, I wound up playing him not because it was Bush League, but because I was worried that sometimes stats correct
Which
and I would lose the game.
How would you do that? You had a running back. Who you have running back on you? How many points do you think
You
you
saw Forte after he fumbled, he got benched for a little while. So what if that happened on the first play?
No.
It could happen though.
It could happen, but
If he doesn't play him, he wins the game.
What if it was a
100%.
defense? Now you see, it was.
That's different. That's different.
But the point is, do you bench a player?
if it's a defense, then I might have to think
But
about
what's
it.
the difference?
Exactly. Your
defense-
just point is that what are the chances of running back gets negative points?
Exactly.
I had a just because it was Matt. Forte.
why is it
What if it was
frustrating you that he's
DeLone
not- that you
Carter?
mentioned him?
What if it was DeLone Carter who got negative points?
I don't.
See, it's just like because he thinks there's no way Forte would get negative.
There's no way.
It
There's
could
no
happen,
way.
dude.
You just proved my point. If it was a defense who get negative points,
Right.
you wouldn't think
the,
it was.
the move of benching a guy when you're up is not bush league. That's the
I
point.
think it is.
But
Personally,
you would do it.
no, I
You
wouldn't
just
do
said
it.
you
I'd
would
put-
bench a defense.
That's different. You could. But
I'm thinking benching
it's a running back in a defense. A defense loses points as they get scored on. A
running
back.
back DeLone Carter in my league got negative 1.3 points.
I don't even know who that is.
The
Who
guy
is
for the
that?
Colts.
Who cares about him?
Well, all right. Move on. Move on, Mike.
No, now it's time for you. This is your part of the show. here.
Potpourri.
Potpourri.
And Tony, who I'm sure says he didn't know anything about what's going on, but I'm sure he'll add something. Where should I start? Let's start with let's start with Michael Jackson. Because I've talked about this before. I'm glad it's over. Dr. Conrad Murray, he was guilty, found guilty.
Yeah, I saw.
Apparently the jurors said it wasn't even close. What's amazing to me about this case is that, I don't know if you know this or you probably don't even care, the only reason he went to trial was because when the cops came to Michael Jackson's house when he died, he just started volunteering information. That the cops, he was like, oh, I've been giving him this drug every day for 4 months. Like, had he not said anything, they had nothing because you can't prove that something was in this 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, maybe you were doing things that led to his death. So had he just shut his mouth, nothing would have happened to him. And now here he is. He lost his license. He lost his meal ticket. And now he's 4 years. They say he'll probably only do house arrest, but...
You know, the only thing I can add to the story, I heard it on Open Anthony today. Who's that guy? He was in like MTV from the very beginning.
Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder.
You know what? I agree with him, man.
He
He's
goes, who
right.
cares? Because he molested children.
He did.
Let's be
He
honest.
just threw that out there, though, eh?
Let's be honest. I don't know
I don't know
a
if
lot
he did or
about
not.
Michael
I
Jackson.
think my guess would be he said it.
Sleepovers with little kids. He's 40 years old.
Look,
what was the guy doing?
My guess would be that he would do it. I don't know if he did it.
Yep.
He did.
Very quickly, Justin Bieber. This woman who claims that she took his virginity
What a
and
waste
30
of
seconds
life that
later.
kid is.
The thing about Justin Bieber...
I saw a picture. She's not good looking.
And he's got Selena Gomez. If he wanted to lose his virginity, he would have done this to Selena Gomez. Not only that, she says, well, we hope to settle. If you wanted to settle, why are you going to all these TVs and stuff like that? And not only that, lady, you're 20 and he was 16. That's rape. And he's got
Yeah.
better things to do than deal with you.
What state
He's got
is this in?
hot girls everywhere.
Was this what state is this
I don't
chick
know.
from?
I
She
also
from
encourage
America
you-
or Canada?
America. Go to Jimmy Fallon on YouTube and Google Jimmy Fallon. He does a little parody called It's Not My Baby. Very funny.
Check it out.
That's it for today.
No Lindsay
Tony,
Lohan?
what pissed you off besides
No
the fact
Lindsay
that I
Lohan
kicked your
updates?
ass?
Lindsay Lohan update?
What?
What's going on?
They said the Playboy shoot was very tasteful. I saw that.
She already did it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very.
And she's out of jail after 4
Maybe
hours.
we'll have a whole sideshow.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.